Welcome to episode 25 of CyberBytes, the podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Cooper, co-founder of Aspiron Search. Today's guest, we have Robert Johnston, CEO at Adlumin. A fascinating career from battlefield to boardroom, Rob founded Adlumin to build and provide a comprehensive, integrated and collaborative security operations platform that brings the type of enterprise-grade security to the mid-market. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Joseph. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I think I was just saying I'm just about recovered from Cyber Week last week. So yeah, looking forward to this episode, mate. How about you? Where are you in the world at the minute?
I'm in my house in DC.
Oh, you're DC
Washington,
based.
DC, yeah.
Nice. Are you off to Black Hat next month?
Our company is. I'm not. I just had a new baby, so
Oh,
I'll
congrats,
be.
bro. Well, you're looking well. Thanks for
Yeah, thank
doing the
you.
pod,
Yeah.
mate. If how old are we talking?
Like one day, yesterday.
Oh, wow. Okay, now I feel privileged about you jumping on the
Yeah.
pod. Well, like, these pods are only 20 minutes, so we'll get it fired out. And oh, wow, thanks for that, man. That's congratulations, Mazel
Thank
Tov,
you.
as they say in Israel.
Yeah.
But look, Rob, with all my guests, I will take it right back to where it all began for you and how you got into security, brother.
Yeah. I first got interested in security when I was a student at the United States Naval Academy. So I was there. I did a career in the service. I did about 8 years in the Marine Corps. But at the Naval Academy, I was an information technology major. You know, security was just kind of breaking out. This is 2008. Cybersecurity was not really even a thing yet. It was just kind of starting out in its infancy in 2008. That's back in the days of, you know, Agent BTZ and like those kinds of kind of famous hacks, but yeah, that's where I first got interested. And I kind of knew it was going to be big. And I got heavily involved at the Naval Academy while I was a college student. And I decided I wanted to kind of shape my Marine Corps career in really the same vein, right? Like I wanted to do security in my Marine Corps career. And so I ended up making decisions along the way that put me in the security ecosystem within the Marine Corps. So I was in the security ecosystem and I stayed, there throughout most of my career. And then, it kind of took off from there. I went and did a brief stint at CrowdStrike, working there for a little while. And then I left and I founded Adlumin, and the rest is kind of
History. And you now you got a kid. Is that your first, or I'm still getting over?
Third.
Oh, third.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still getting over this being 1 day old. Because I've just had a child myself who's 8 weeks. So I remember a day after I was not in I was like exhausted. So I'm excited you've actually jumped on, Rob.
Yeah. Thanks. Your first one?
It's with my fiance, first, okay. But I've got a daughter from a previous relationship who's a bit older, but it's nothing's changed. It's still very tough.
Yeah. It's true. When I started this journey, I had no kids, right? It was just like I wasn't even married. I was just dating my wife at the time, and then and then things escalated quickly over the years.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, man. So you mentioned a short stint at CrowdStrike. What was you doing there? What specifically was that position?
Incident response work. It was all IR. Yeah, all IR, which I always loved IR. And even to this day, like when Adlumin like discovers breaches and my teams are like diving in there and figuring out what happened, it's fun to take a peek at what they're doing, because what's always interesting about IR is every IR is different, and it's always like solving a puzzle, right? It's you're a cyber cop, you're solving crime, right? And it's just interesting to watch investigations unfold and watch the story kind of unfold, because you start from near nothing when you get into an incident response breach, and then you're responsible for kind of painting this whole story. And so I always had a passion, I think, for incident response investigations. They were always a lot of fun.
100%. Yeah. It's definitely exciting stuff. Obviously a high pressure environment, but absolutely exciting to deal with. How you made founding Adlumin, like you made that sound really easy. did you found on your own? Like founding a company is tough. Like you made it sound really easy. So how did that transition come about?
Yeah, so I was kind of working at CrowdStrike, and I always wanted to do my own kind of thing. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say I necessarily had this like genius idea. I just wanted to dive in, right? And I felt that at the time in my life, I also had very little to lose. Like I wasn't married, I didn't have any kids. I was thinking about going to business school anyways,
Hmm.
because I loved the incident response work, but I was like, I just thought maybe I'd like a change. And I ended up applying to this incubator, which still exists in the Northern Virginia area, that does a lot of security companies, because they had a thesis about security kind of being a really good development space here in the Washington, D.C. area, because you got the intelligence communities, you got
Yeah.
the NSA, the CIA, all the government agencies. So there's a lot of security talent in this kind of region. So they had a thesis, yay, we'll start an incubator and invest in cybersecurity companies. And so I applied to that incubator and I got in. And that was kind of like my first start, my first jump
Hmm.
into entrepreneurship. And then, over the years, like things just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you recruit more talent, lots of very talented people to handle different parts of the business. And, things just grow and grow and grow.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about that evolution then. So when you started, what was the sort of the whole sole purpose of Adlumin? What was the business and what are you doing now that's different?
Yeah, so at Adlumin, we wanted to, do user and entity behavior analytics, essentially log analytics, but from a what they now call, and back then they called it to UEBA, user and entity behavior analytics,
Hmm.
which was its own market category for a little while, but that market category like very quickly kind of imploded, or it just really got consumed as a feature into other market categories, right? So it just got consumed, and then we kind of pivoted and we said, okay, we were trying to do this in the middle market anyways, right? So let's build a middle market kind of security analytics technology, right? And start bringing in a whole bunch of other data sources, since just running like UEBA like isn't enough. So we did that. We brought in a whole bunch of other data sources, and built kind of a cost efficient, easy to use, simple to integrate security analytics software product for the middle market. And then things get bigger over the years, right? Like, and then the market came to us and said, hey, MDR is really kind of rising up. Like, we love your product, it does a great job, but we'd like kind of an MDR service on top of it. So then we launched that, right? And then our partners, really our channel partners, came to us and said, hey, we've got this problem where we really lack consolidation in the space. It's not just about security analytics, or it's not just about MDR. Like, we need help in other areas. We need consolidation of all our kind of security operations tasks. And can you do that for us? And so then we kind of developed a strategy to be like, hey, let's help our partners further consolidate their security operations requirements onto a single SaaS application. And then we started kind of building that. And so over the years, the product and the offerings that we have really developed,
Mm.
and serve our market really well.
Where was the decision made to be a mid-market play?
That was from the very beginning.
Mm.
Security is really at the time, this is 2016, right? This is 2016. No, 2017. Sorry, 2017. And in 2017, cybersecurity was really still a very enterprise focused
Mm.
vertical. And in a lot of respects, it's still an enterprise focused vertical today, right? And all of these companies that you see, like if you go to RSA or Black Hat, or probably even your Tel Aviv
Hmm.
piece, it's still predominantly dominated by enterprise focused security companies, software businesses, services business, whatever you want,
Yeah, yeah.
enterprise focused, right? And so we took a look at the market and said, like, we don't want to compete there. Let's do something a little bit different, and try and target a different segment, which means your product needs to be built differently, right? It has to be at a certain price point, has to have certain features, it's got to have certain capabilities. So that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah, nice. You mentioned as well consolidation. Like, how did that? You make it sound so easy, Rob, but how does that all come about, and where do you start when doing the consolidation?
Yeah, so consolidation is really a broad theme, right? It's a thematic, introduction to the product, in that we took a look at really the problem that existed was that channel partners in the segment, they want to decrease complexity, decrease multi-vendor spend, and choose convenience first. This is the initial thesis, right? So that's the initial thesis. And then from that thesis, we said, okay, how can we help them decrease complexity, decrease multi-vendor spend, and be extremely convenient, right? You be extremely convenient by loading it, all these tasks onto one SaaS application. That makes things just inherently convenient, right? Because you go to one portal, one user interface to consume a multitude of value propositions at a time across the security operations spectrum, right? You make it less complex by increasing automation, lowering customization. Whereas the enterprise really wants high customization. They want automation, but they want an extremely high level of customization and configuration to that automation, right? And the middle market just doesn't have the aptitude for that, right? So that's how we kind of made things less complex. And then you decrease multi-vendor spend by offering many security operations value propositions through a single vendor, a single company, a single SaaS application. And so we started choosing individual value propositions that were meaningful to our target market, patching, scanning, security awareness training, ransomware defense, vCISO, I would almost call it the blocking and tackling. There are many enterprise functions that are really almost too advanced for the middle market to consume. They're just not that important, right? The middle market is very focused on compliance or security, the blocking and tackling of security operations. They're still struggling with that. And so we really focused on that component, like what software and services can we offer that is the blocking and tackling of the middle market security operations tasks.
Yeah, nice. In terms of like case studies, or what sort of cost savings have you then made for some of these of your clients? Because that sounds like some substantial some savings.
I mean, it's a huge amount of savings. A lot of security companies trying to say, oh, if you buy my product, you don't have to hire these like 3 people. But the reality of decreasing multi-vendor spend is, the business school in me, you automatically begin to achieve scale economies, right? As contracts get bigger for Adlumin, the price per widget or price per device or price per user, or whatever it is, right, decreases, right? So things actually get cheaper when scale gets larger, right? And this is true in all of the decreasing multi-vendor spend kind of strategies, right? Consolidation strategies. As things get cheaper, the more you buy, right? And so we're able to consolidate many different vendors, or I would say product categories like SIM, MDR, patching, scanning, pen testing, right? Security awareness training, like all these things are different vendors. We've built a SaaS application that kind of consolidates and delivers them all in a really easy to consume way to the middle market. And this that scale economies inherently has savings that are passed on to the customer. Because if I'm only selling you one widget, right, in order to make enough money to make that work from a unit economics perspective, I have to price that widget really high, right? Because I'm only selling you one widget, right? But if I'm selling you 8 widgets, right, 8 widgets in 8 different important categories for you, I can actually charge less for each widget, right? Because I'm selling you 8 widgets, right? So in its totality, it's more, but you need all these things. Like all these things we deliver are not kind of a choice, right? They're a must-have, an absolutely need to have, not a nice to have, right? And so each widget is actually less expensive if they were to go to each individual vendor, right, and purchase them individually. So that's what I mean by scale economies, right?
Yeah, that makes complete sense. What's been the biggest challenge selling to the mid-market?
The biggest challenge is probably getting a go-to-market motion that actually kind of works. Adlumin went really heavy on a 100% channel strategy. And this made sense for us, right? It made sense from a pricing, packaging perspective. It made sense from a unit economics perspective. And it made sense for our customers, right? We could get our product into more customers' hands and provide its value to them. So that was really nailing that is, I think, important in any business. In the enterprise realm, it's enterprise sales, right? It's very kind of like one-to-one. Just have a bunch of account executives out there chasing accounts, and if your product is compelling enough, you'll be able to capture large TAM accounts, right? Big accounts, and that just snowballs into a bigger business. For us, it's kind of a two-step process, sometimes a three-step process, depending on if you're using kind of distribution strategies or not, right? So you kind of have two customers, right? Like the partner is our customer, and the end customer of the partners is also our customer, right? So we've got to build technology that helps both of those customers, and that's the challenging part. I think is whenever you're building something, realizing in your mind that whatever it is that you're building really has to service two customers, and that's where enterprise products fall down in the middle market, or they fall down in a channel strategy, right? Because they're built for Fortune 500 companies. Like, look at all the things this product can do. They exclude the partner completely. It just becomes kind of a pass-through, where Adlumin's done a good job at respecting our partners and making sure that we build a product that is for the end customer, but is also for them.
Yeah, that's really insightful. Thanks for sharing that, Rob. What about what's next for Adlumin? I'm struggling with the pronunciation. It's like a bit of a tongueful for me. But what's next for you guys?
Yeah, whenever you're thinking Adlumin, just think it's two root words. Adlumin. It's Latin. Add light, right? Add light. And so next is to continue to grow. Like Adlumin is delivering our products and services to customers all over the globe, right? And we're really excited about kind of the future prospects of growing from where we are today to many thousands of customers across the globe, and we continue to show progress towards that goal. And so the name of the game here in startup land is growth. We continue to build new products and new managed security products for our customers and partners to consume, and then keep delivering more and more value propositions to them, and then of course just keep acquiring more market share and growing this business really into a really big, nice, beautiful business.
Yeah, nice. Just one final question for the audience: is the incubator you used still in action? Are they still around?
They are still around. It was actually funded by, I don't know if it's still funded by, but it was funded by the government of Virginia, right? So the government of Virginia said, hey, we realize, like, in our area, we have the CIA, we have the NRO, we've got the NSA, we've got all these kind of intelligence community assets. And when people leave, they have good ideas in predominantly cybersecurity. So we'll, as an organization, we'll fund that. Now, their payback was, of course, employees. Like startups grow, we hire more employees, and we bring economic activity to the state of Virginia, right, and DC and Maryland. Like we're like Adlumin has 150 employees. Like we have considerable amount of economic activity for a number of states. So that was their benefit, and it's still in existence today. It still operates.
Can people get in touch with them directly? Are you happy to share who it is?
It's Mach 37 was
Mach
the name.
37. Okay.
Yeah, Mach 37. Cool. You just log in. You can just Google
I'll put the show notes down there. Yeah, for sure. I'll put it on there because I know there'll be people that are on their founding journeys that will be interested in that, particularly in the DC area. So for sure, I'll put that on the show notes.
Yeah, and if you've never started a business before, an incubator can help, right? Because it's not about kind of product market fit, right? Like they'll talk about that, but when you're starting a business, there's all these other things that you have to worry about, like corporate administration, mostly administration functions, right? Yeah. Corporate administration and things like that.
Well, listen, brother, all the best of success, man. And congrats again on the kid. I'm still getting over that, but I wish you all the best, and let's stay close and enjoy baby number 3, man.
Thank you, Joseph. Really appreciate it.